Okay, here we go. Moving and grooving. Andrea is in Phoenix. She was with me all weekend while her daughter is being scouted by ASU. And so we got to spend the whole weekend together. It was so much fun. But now she's in downtown Phoenix waiting for a meeting with the coaches. And I'm back home. So we are going to be talking today about customer follow-up. And you guys, this is so important because when you follow up with your customers and you make sure they love the products and then continue getting in touch with them 2 + 2 + 2, 2 days, 2 weeks, and then every 2 months, when you do that, then you're going to establish that trust basis with you and your customer, and you're going to have customers for life. I love customers for life. I have customers that I've had since I started. I mean, I've had customers for 27 years. And, you know, keeping in touch with them before cell phones, before cell phones. Can you imagine? We actually picked up a phone with a cord and talked, and we were attached to a wall. But, yeah, and, you know, before texting, before emails, actually calling your customers. And that might be a good thing to go back to. What do you think, Dre?
Well, I think it's an amazing thing. And I think sometimes even as a director, I can sometimes be a little nervous to do a follow-up and pick up the phone like, oh no, what if she wasn't happy? What do I do? What do I say? So that's really what this call is all about. And last night, Joe and I were talking, and it was so funny. We were having dinner, and I said, well, you know what Stephen Furtick says about, she said, potential. And Joe said, no, I don't. What does he say? And I said, I forgot, but I know it was good. Well, I remembered. So let me tell you, Stephen Furtick, who is a wonderful pastor, but he said, don't tell me somebody's potential, show me somebody's habits. And so that is what I wanted to say in the very beginning is are you pulling out your weekly IPA sheet that I created for you about a month ago, and we started our calls a couple weeks ago saying, what am I committed to this week as far as income producing activities? And what we're going to talk about today is all involved with that. But if you don't take the time, time will take you. Right. And you'll have another week, another month, another quarter, another year, and you're in the same place. So are you ready to be in a totally new place? Would you like to have that quantum leap? Don't show me your potential. Show me your habits. And your habits for your daily activity that's going to produce income is so paramount. So get that weekly IPA tracking sheet out. And then let's make this week fabulous with customer service. So Joe, you have a party. You had people start on either botanical, clear proof. Some people might have started with repair and got into botanical and it's clear proof for a child. And you're following up in 2 days. What exactly does that look like for you?
Okay, so let's say I'm calling Andrea. We call Andrea and say, hey girl, don't want to take up much of your time. I just want to make sure you absolutely love your products and you understand how to use them. Do you have any questions or any concerns after using the products for 48 hours?
That's brilliant. And you know what's helped me too is before they leave my studio with their set, I have communicated to them in advance, sorry, I'm outside, that it might take 2 or 3 follow-ups and switches of products to create that perfect formula just for you. And so I say that during my party because when I was with Joe, I started on the basic, but I thought I was very, very oily. She gave me all the products for oily, but I really didn't know my skin. So I took 4 rounds, and poor thing, she was really kind with me, but I kept going back and forth with different formulas. So if you are talking and being a great consultant from the beginning, is I'm going to create that perfect formula just for you. But it might take 1 or 2 rounds to find and tweak so that when you have that 2-day follow-up, you're not shocking them that it wasn't all 100% perfect, that there were areas to tweak. The last thing I'll say about this is put it in your calendar for when you need to follow up. Because if you're having a Friday party and you're waiting till Tuesday, that's 4 days. You've got to be following up, even if it is a weekend, to make sure she knows that if it's not happy or she's not 100% happy the first 24 hours and 48 hours, that you are there. So Joe, 2 weeks. So what exactly, you follow up. What if she says in that 2 days, well, it's okay. Or, I'm not crazy.
Okay. It sounds like it didn't meet your expectations. So let's look at tweaking your formulas a little bit. And, that is the beautiful thing about having a consultant, is because I'll actually talk with you and work on it until it is giving you the absolute best results you can possibly get. You might go to the mall or to Ulta or someplace like that, and you get a bunch of products and you go, oh, well, they're not really working, and you throw them away or you put them underneath the bathroom sink. And, we call those buying mistakes. And in Mary Kay, we want to make sure you never have what you feel like is a buying mistake. So let's talk through these products real quick that you got. Let's say she got the Volufarm. Your cleanser, you're using it with the Skin Vigorate brush. You're getting the foaming effect. Does it feel good and clean after you're finished? Well, let's say she says, well, you know what? That's actually the problem. I don't feel like my skin is clean enough. Well, one of the things that you told me before we ever got together was that you were on a system where you were using a toner. And I use a toner along with the Volufarm. I use the blemish control toner because although I'm in my 50s, I still have oily skin and the occasional blemish. It's the curse that just keeps on giving. And so why don't we do this? Why don't we try adding a toner? We can either do a botanicals toner or we can do the blemish control toner, whichever one, and that will give you that nice clean feeling. Is that something you might be willing to try? Because if so, then I will drop it off to you and you can just try that for a few days along with your set. I try to make it easy on them. Easy, easy, easy.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And I love what you're saying because if somebody is doing 3D or even repair, and Joe just said she asked them first step. Okay, tell me about the cleanser. How's it feeling for you? Oh, it's okay. Well, what if it's not? If it's 3D and they're not quite sure, I do not, well, let me go forward. If you're talking to somebody, the cleanser could be the best place to start because if they're super dry, well, no, that's not true. Cleanser's not the best place to start. I'm sorry. I normally start with the moisturizer. Sorry, I'm back. Okay, let me back up. When I ask them, how does the set feel? Well, I'm still a little shiny. Okay, then I'm going to start with the moisturizer. If with the 3D, we've spoken about this, but this will be a good refresher. If anybody says they're having that heaviness or an irritation, try them with a 3D without SPF.
Yes.
That has been a little bit heavier and can be causing some people, this SPF does that at times. So try to switch them to see if that will make it better. Now, then we have to figure out the SPF from another source, but this would be at least for making her, see the results that she's wanting. Right. Now, then I had a customer say the same thing. I wanted something that was cleansing a little bit more for my skin. Believe it or not, I had to switch her from the combination oily cleanser to the normal to dry. So it is good if you have samples on hand, then you can help somebody say, well, try this overnight. Now, I didn't have a facial, so I told her, try my party, my party demo. I gave it to her overnight, so I picked it up. But that is something you can do to make sure your customer is 100% happy, especially if you're trying different formulas.
And one great thing about that, guys, when you're swapping things out, is the return policy on InTouch is super simple. So you just put in the customer's name, what the product is, the product code, the day code, which if you don't know how to read the day codes, we'll cover that another time. It's just on the crimper on underneath.
Do it now. It's real easy. Just tell them how.
Okay, let me get a product. Hang on. Oh, here.
Product. I'm going to tell you how to do a product return. You go under ordering, and you'll see product return. So then you follow the steps that Joe's telling you.
So here's the day code right here on Firming Eye Cream. It's a number and a letter and 2 more numbers. And you can go on InTouch and understand what those numbers and letters mean. And so you put the price and the day they returned it, and it has to be within the last 30 days. And then you order something that's the same price. And it can just add up to be the same as long as it's within $1. Upper or lower. So if you return a product that's like $32, you just have to make sure that you order either $33 worth or $31 worth or $32. So right in there, you have to have that little window, and you don't have to order the same thing back. You can get other things if you've got enough of that in stock. And I have found that product returns, they come super fast, super fast. Like I'll get it within a couple of days. So I think that's a whole different division as far as distribution goes. So it doesn't fall into that, the last few days of the month, it takes a lot longer to get your order. So definitely, walk through those steps without actually submitting it, and kind of practice that so you're familiar with that and you feel more confident in that.
So you mentioned something, whether it's 2 days, 2 weeks. If somebody says, well, I think I might want a little bit more like astringent, how do you address if somebody has already purchased, the repair, and you're trying to recommend an add-on? Like, how do you approach that? Because some people feel like, oh, I don't want to ask her for more money. She's just invested in the set. So how do you handle that?
Okay, I believe in complete transparency when anything scares me or intimidates me. And I mean, even so far as talking to a super sharp woman and saying, you know what, I'm actually kind of scared to talk to you because, I have this fear of rejection. I don't want you to reject me, but you're so super sharp and I would just love to have your face in my portfolio. So I just kind of declare it out there. So if you're saying, they might want to add a product, I would say, now, Andrea, I know you've already invested over $200 in your skin, and that was a great investment. And I don't want it to sound like I just want you to keep adding and adding and adding and buying more and more and more. So why don't you try it for a few days? And if you see the value, David Cooper, when you see the value in adding that product to your set and you're getting the results that you really, really want, then I think it'll be worth it.
I like that a lot. And notice how Joe says investment, because when we are comparing to Ulta, to Nordstrom's, to any of the other stores, they're saving so much, but they are investing. And you can reiterate that, and you are that personal consultant just for them. You're going to be there to tweak it along the way. I love that, Joe. Okay, let's talk about if they're experiencing dryness, what would you change first? And then what would you maybe add? Maybe repair. They're still dry. What would you do?
Okay. So, our company is really focused on amazing customer service. And you have invested really deeply into your skin here. And I know that if you need to get different results, we may have to tweak it just a little bit. So if you're still feeling dry, why don't we do this? Why don't we add on a little bit different nighttime moisturizer? When you're asleep, your skin goes through different kind of changes than when you're awake. So during that sleep time, when your skin is at rest and it's rejuvenating itself, why don't we add on, and I'll just give you a couple of samples of it, why don't we add on the Intense Moisturizer? Because it is a wonderful moisturizer. Now, guys, as a sidebar note, I am not the best at the whole dry skin thing, or I wasn't until I moved to Arizona. You get real good on working with women with dry skin. I have teenagers that profile acne, but dry skin.
Wow.
And so I've really had to learn that it's okay to put them on something with more moisture and still use acne treatment gel or still use blemish control toner. Yeah. It's not all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's a combination.
That is great. And I think really we might have enough material to do our own call for products another time. Because this is bringing up a lot of great, things that I also incorporate, one nighttime system versus daytime, which, like you said, could seem totally opposite, but could complement for sure. Okay, right. So then let's go about the 2 weeks. Now, Mary Kay said 2 + 2 = 2. So I mentioned earlier putting it in your calendar, and we're going to be pretty brief today because I've got to get to a meeting for my daughter. But now we're at the 2 weeks. What normally are we doing within 2 weeks of having them start with the product?
We are having them be so excited about how their skin looks that now they want to have a party and possibly talk to us about the career opportunity.
And sitting face to face, right? So it may not be a phone call, it may just be a face to face. Okay, yes. So when you maybe, my husband's telling me ready to go. Okay, 1 second. So you're face to face, where would you start that conversation? Would you maybe start with order of application, or would you start with, how is it working? What would you do?
Pretty much the same thing. How's it working? I wanted to let you know that all of my skincare customers are going to be invited to an advanced glamour workshop I'm doing right before the holidays. I'd love to have you come. Do you have some friends you might want to bring with you to a holiday glamour workshop? Really? You've got 2 or 3 friends? You know what? Why don't we go ahead and have them try the skincare? And let's focus on, getting some of your friends on the skincare. You earn some hostess credit that you can use during the holidays. How awesome would that be?
I love that.
I'm always trying to book.
Well, and I think that everybody falls in love with more. And at that second appointment, we're not talking today about second appointment and what I introduced, but I'm introducing totally new products that they did not see at the first appointment. But and because I have to go, Joe might finish this up.
Okay.
I got to just say that I also text, and so I'm going to post. I have done 2 things to save me time. Number one is I also follow up with a texting service as well as a phone call. But I've also created little pictures and my pic collage where I take the set and then I put the order of application for specifically what they have purchased, and I text that to them so that they know I'm here for you. I am your personal trainer for your face. You can call on me and text me anytime you feel a little confused because I'm here to help you. Like I said, if you don't take the time will take you. And they really appreciate that. I'm sorry, I have to go. Would you like to finish it up and then just record?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I love you, and keep Mara in your prayers because this is a fun, exciting, but very stressful time for any junior, and
her parents,
and for her parents, absolutely. So, okay, Joe, I'm gonna chime off, and everybody, we will talk to you later.
All right, bye. Okay, so one thing I want to kind of end with is the 2-month. So every 2 months, you want to call your customers, and just this morning at church. Big me. Okay. Just this morning at church, my dad and I were sitting out in the car waiting on Andy. He had a meeting to go to after services. And a couple of friends walked by who actually happened to be customers. And they stop and they say, hey, how you doing? How's your dad doing? And they talk to my dad, hey, Wes, how are you? And one of the ladies said, I really need to get together with you and get some products from you. And I said, well, this is a great month to do it because I'm doing my Where Hope Lives fundraiser. And I turned to her husband and I said, and you could get all your shopping done this month and know that part of the profits are going to a great cause. And he goes, give me your card. So those follow-ups are so important. And it's okay. I'm sitting in the parking lot at church and one of my customers walks up and you can start a conversation about, I can say, wow, I like that lipstick. Is that one of ours? Oh, no, it's something I got at the drugstore. Now, Bonnie, what are you doing buying from the drugstore? You have to support small businesses and, you don't know where CVS is sending all that profit. You need to support my business and help me maintain my lifestyle and kind of laugh and joke. And she's like, okay, and then another lady walked up to me. It was like Mary Kay Day at the church. And she was like, I need something for under eye. And I go, okay. And she goes, you sell Mary Kay, right? And I said, yeah. And I said, but I've never, facialed you or never talked to you about Mary Kay. And I said, so would you be up to maybe getting together for an appointment and, come onto my home studio? It's a bedroom and trying the products. And then we can kind of figure out exactly what you need. I'm not a big salesperson, but I'm a great teacher and I can teach you maybe to take great care of your skin. And she was like, okay. And I gave her my card. So, it's just having that smile on your face and just being open to people. And I think sometimes we're kind of afraid to talk to people at church or at the ball field or at work because, we don't want to be like that person or we don't want them to feel like we're using them or something like that. But guys, if you knew about a great hairdresser or you knew about a new movie theater that was awesome or you knew about a great clothing store or a nail place or something, when you tell people, oh my gosh, your nails are so pretty. I just found a new nail place. And you don't feel funny about that. So I think we have to kind of lighten up a little bit and just claim it. Like I said earlier, if you feel like I don't want her to think that I'm using her or that I'm just friends with her because of this or I'm just texting her because of this, then say that. Say, I don't want you to think that, I'm reaching out to you. Andrea's sending me messages. I'm reaching out to you because I'm trying to sell you something, but I would be just kicking myself all the way home if I didn't express to you how much I really love your before and after picture in my fall portfolio. And if you have 2 or 3 girlfriends that you can share your appointment with, we could turn it into a party because girls love parties. And, have a great day. I can't wait to hear from you. Claim it. Be sincere. Now, this is where texting and email can kind of get tricky. So you might even want to just text them and say, hey, do you have a quick minute? And then call them and say, hey, listen, I want to be completely transparent with you. I value your friendship. I value your opinion. And I would be remiss in my Mary Kay career if I did not offer to you to get together and try our products. There's no obligation to purchase anything. And I've kind of been a little bit afraid to ask you because I really don't want you to think, oh my gosh, she's just using me, or oh my gosh, she just wants to sell me something. Because that's really not true. I really don't want you to be left out, and I value your opinion. Now, I don't want you to feel left out, or I don't want you to be left out. When you slip that in softly, I just really don't want you to be left out. That creates FOMO, fear of missing out. So you're putting together your fall portfolio. It's just a before and after with very light makeup. They can always get together with you later on and try more products or do a full-blown makeover for the holidays, but this is just a real simple look. It's going to take about 45 minutes to an hour. And if they'd like to share their appointment with a couple of girlfriends, that's even better because then it becomes party. And parties are fun. And if they do decide to invest in their skin, then that's great because she gets hostess credit. So you guys, you're offering them a gift. So don't take yourself so seriously. All right, that's my advice for the day. All right, last but not least, I have no idea who the woman who wrote this book, but I wanted to end with this. I heard it at our fall retreat 2 weekends ago, and it's the 5-4-3-2-1 rule. And you may have read the book or you've heard about the 5-second rule. But the premise of the story is this woman who wrote this book went through a very depressing time in her life. And it was a really sad story. I'm not going to go into all that. But she literally went to bed and could not get out of bed. And so what she did was she would say, you know what I'm going to do is in the morning, I'm just going to do a countdown, 5-4-3-2-1, and then I'm going to get out of bed. And then she started applying that to all areas of her life. So I might say, oh, I got to make good booking calls. I got to call my customers. I got to do follow-ups. I got to. And I just go, you know what? 5-4-3-2-1, make the first phone call. 5-4-3-2-1, do it. And you just do it. Do the activity. 5-4-3-2-1, do it. And it is freeing. And I've been doing that since I heard that 2 weekends ago. And I think it was Tammy Vivala, National Sales Director. I'm looking at my notes. And let me tell you what, you will develop bravado, you will develop grit, you will develop a fierce, focused attitude about your business. 5-4-3-2-1, you can do it. All right, have a great day. And this is Sunday, so you're gonna get this early. Yay, be blessed.